Are you ready to level up?
I'm Ethan.
And I'm Travis.
You're listening to the LevelUp Business and Life podcast,
where we talk to the top business entrepreneurs to learn their level up secrets
and get their tips and tricks to level up your business and life. Level up your business and life today. Hey everyone, this is Ethan, and I'm here to introduce you to my friend and colleague Travis, who is going to be talking to you about some Marketing Monday tips moving forward for the next few weeks. And so Travis, take it off, man. What are you talking about today?
Yeah, for the Marketing Monday Masterclass, I'm going to be talking about first impressions. When I say first impressions, anytime you start advertising, you are very reserved, trying to not give off a bad first impression because you'll only get one. Mm-hmm. So anytime you put your name out there, when I say your name, your brand, whenever you put your brand out there, you get kind of hesitant, especially as a business owner, because your brand, your company may not be polished. You're very reserved. You don't have an outgoing personality. You very hesitant even to put your name out there. You got to start with business cards and Facebook ads and Facebook pages and websites and video and billboards, and the list goes on and on.
It's enough to make it a little intimidating, right?
Oh, absolutely. So as a business owner, I'm going to walk you through creating this playbook to really enhance your brand. And the first thing that you do is you build up a first impression. What you choose to show people about your brand, your company, and it may be yourself as the brand that you're putting out there. And that can be very difficult. I'm going to walk you through some of the first impressions that I've received with even current clients of mine, or maybe even past clients of mine. First is a company that I walked in. I was able to get a meeting with, and the first thing I said to them is, "What does your logo look like?" And he laughed at me, and I said, "I've seen 3 different advertisements that you've put out, and none of them had the same logo."
Really?
Really?
What was the reason? Like, what was his logic?
Well, they didn't have a branding guide. First off, when you don't have a branding guide, it's anything goes. A branding guide really helps solidify your footprint in the space. So that way, if you hand off a project to a different digital designer or a designer in general, whether it be for print, or you're printing coins, or you're printing bags, or you're printing anything, you're building an app, you're building out your Facebook business page, you're building out your website, a branding guide helps the designer, whomever it may be able to take the current look and feel of your brand and apply it to that medium. And so whenever you're talking print versus digital, you're talking CMYK, that is what you use to print, versus RGB, which is the colors that are displayed through your monitor, your laptop, your TV. They use RGB. And so there's, rather than if you get something and go, well, these colors don't look right, and then you go, well, there's a reason why they don't look right, because they didn't follow the branding guide.
Well, let me ask you this: what for those of the listeners that are newer to the business and might not know the answer, why is branding so important? Why is having the right guide so important?
Branding is so critical to your business because you're going to sell on one of two things. My business coach taught me this, Mr. Bob Dornick, I'll give him full cred for it because he's a straight up gangster. He's seven businesses. Don't
Nice.
quote me on that. Maybe 8. So he's successfully ran and sold 7, 8 businesses. And he said, you're either going to sell on one of 2 things. It's either going to be on your brand, or it's going to be on your price. And if you're trying to sell on your price, you're going to lose every time. Mm-hmm. Why are you going to lose every time? Because no matter what, there's always someone out there to do it cheaper than you're willing to.
Yeah, you never want to get into a cost war. You never want to get into that price war back and forth and be like, hey.
You're going to lose your shorts.
Yep.
Your shirt, maybe even your underwear.
Oh, man.
And nobody wants to see that. Come on, people.
It depends who you're talking to.
And then, so your logo is such a critical piece. If you've seen The Lion King, Mufasa says to Simba, everything the light touches is yours, right? And with branding, it's everything your logo touches is branding. If you get a bag made on Vistaprint, or send out a email through MailChimp, or have business cards made, or whatever it is, if you decide to put your logo on the back of a T-shirt, there needs to be a black and white rendition of your logo mm-hmm. that is suitable for that medium. Mm-hmm. So, being able to recognize your logo without having to take a second look, because most people just glance at things, mm-hmm. But in the back of their mind, I can almost name you all of the sponsors on the back of my basketball, T-shirt that benefited a camp. Those little things that you don't realize that are key elements of your branding. May not fit into your brand strategy, so to speak, but it's branding nonetheless. And I talked about colors, black and white, but when it comes down to it, colors really ignite feeling. And so that's why you see these ribbons that for breast cancer awareness, it's pink. For recovery and addiction, it's teal. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's yellow or gold.
Depends who you talk to.
Maybe they'll recover soon, but I won't keep my fingers crossed too long. But the colors that you use need to give feeling, and that's a big piece of the branding puzzle. Yeah. If you're missing being able to portray a feeling, then you've missed the boat.
I heard a great description of the brand as when you go in with the logo and or your business or whatever it is, and then you leave the room, your brand is what people say about you after you leave the room. Yeah. It's the impression that you leave.
Yeah. I have, for my marketing company, I have a vest. Mm-hmm. I will walk into a room wearing a vest, whether it be a dress vest or kind of an outdoorsy vest, but then I'll have my vest logo on my vest, and people would go, "Gotcha."
I've been there. I've witnessed him get questioned about what his vest is all about. It's good. It's true. It works.
It's actually a great story. So I'll get in, the vest. My good friend at the chamber, Jen Tiffany, she does my introductions whenever I speak as the best in a vest, and I'm a little I blush a little bit whenever she gives you that kind of introduction, but nonetheless it's a great introduction. Mm-hmm. And people know me as the guy in the vest, that vest guy, that did marketing and social media training, and so it's really interesting. How can you incorporate your logo and your branding into everyday wear and gear, and making it a piece of you, because ultimately you're the figurehead of your company. If you're the CEO, you carry that brand. You carry that brand like a badge of honor. And if you're, some people will go out and drink, go out to the bar wearing their work gear, or, that's, I highly discourage that. Like, carry a change of shirt, carry a change of clothes or jacket in the car. That's not the. I mean, unless you're a rep for Smirnoff, you really have no business or wearing your gear, your work gear into the bar, because then, as the CEO, you've got your people going into the bar, and maybe they're not, maybe they had one too many and caused a scene. That's a big no-no.
Now people know that you're the brand that causes the scene at the bar.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you've got people, if you got people working for you, you need to let them know that, hey, once work's over, if you're going out afterwards, keep an extra shirt in the car, keep an extra hat in the car. You don't want to put a bad taste in people's mouths because of your actions. But on the same token, you also should expect a certain level of competency within your, that I know that's a tall order sometimes, but regardless, the feeling of your company starts at the top and trickles down.
Right.
Whether it be your brand, your operations, your finances, if you're careless with any of those things, it starts to fall apart.
Yep, absolutely. So how would you summarize for me how you would make that great first impression when you meet somebody new? You have your business idea, awesome. You go and meet them. What are a couple of quick tips that some of our listeners could use for when they go and start talking about the business to make sure that boom, I got the first impression that I want to leave?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're a CEO, chances are you're also sales and business development.
Go hand in hand.
You walk in with a certain level of energy, and you try to meet their level of energy and gradually increase that level of energy whenever you are with them. Because if you're on at a 10 right from the get, it can be intimidating. If you're a 3, you're with your energy levels, and they're at a 7. So I mean, being able to talk and communicate and engage with them, your energy levels, be cognizant of their energy levels, so that way you can kind of meet them,
right?
And hopefully by the end of your meeting, your energy levels are 8+.
Because you don't want to, so what you're saying is that you don't want to go up to somebody and talk extremely fast and have all this energy when they're very lethargic, slow talking, that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So meet them around their level. You may not have, if they're a 3 and they're ho-hum, you don't want to be a 3. You want to stay at least a 5 and try to coax them up to a 5, and then you can step up to a 7. And so it may not, so that also integrates with the level, the engagement of the conversation that you have with them.
Right. Awesome.
So, but whenever it comes to branding and getting your name out there, consistency is key.
Yeah.
That's why I'll use baseball analogies, right? So as a batter, if you're 250, if you're batting 250, it's not the greatest. I'd much rather, a 400 Rafael Palmeiro, slug, jacking home runs all day long. But you need to be as consistent as possible with your messaging, with your branding. It needs to be uniform throughout your entire content strategy.
Yeah. And I think consistency is so important, because especially like somebody logs in to sees a presentation, you make that perfect first impression by using some of Travis's tips, and then they go to your website to try to find you, and you have some different branding, and then there's a massive amount of confusion because, all right, this logo, this person I was talking to, this website doesn't look consistent. Am I at the right website? Am I not? Am I on the right Facebook? Am I not? Yeah. Just confusion, and that's what you don't want with the brand. They won't remember it.
Absolutely. Inconsistency breeds confusion, and that can be very difficult for a prospective customer. That can be that right there is a turnoff.
Yeah.
And there's some other elements that integrate with that as well. Load speed, and if there's too much of taking people down the rabbit hole, click this button, then click this button, then click this button, then click this button, it can be redundant. Now, I mean, there's opt-ins where you go, all right, well, get to this piece, and you want to verify that person to get to the next piece, so limiting the amount of touches that the user has to do on the back end will increase the amount of touches that you get with them from an engagement standpoint.
Very cool.
Cool. How'd you like that for our first?
I liked it. I don't know. It depends on what people, what the audience thinks, but I liked it. I think there's a lot of good information because, like you said, I mean, first impression is it's everything. I think there's the statistic. People make their, I think like 70% of the judgment or something based off of the first 30 seconds or something like that.
It's probably closer to 15.
Okay, 15 seconds. So, regardless, either way, my botched statistics or Travis's accurate ones, the point is first impression is so crucial. And, just follow some of those steps that Travis laid out.
Yeah, so, whenever you're setting up your brand for the first time, think about your URL. That would be your website link. So everybody, you can find me at trav.media instead of .com. That's some cool little tricks that you can do with your URL. This podcast is levelup.buzz. So that way we can create a buzz around this Level Up entrepreneur life.
I think...
Yeah, so you can find us at levelup.buzz, and that is all we have for our first Marketing Monday class.
Hope you guys appreciate it. And, if you have any questions or you want to hear a specific topic, let us know. We have an idea of how it's going to be formatted, but we always want to hear some feedback. So let us know how we can do it. We can help out.
Absolutely. And always level up.